Welcome to Art Ed Radio, the podcast for art teachers. This show is produced by the Art of Education, and I'm your host, Tim Bogatz. And welcome to the show, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We are going to do something new for this podcast. We are recording this live in the Art of Ed community. We're going to do a Now Conference preview because this is the week of the Now Conference. And Jen Leban is joining me now. Jen, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing great. How are you?
Great. We were just talking before we started recording about how, knock on wood, everything is going well for the conference. So hopefully that continues up until the day of, but I'm looking forward to everything involved with the conference. It's always a great time with our art making, with getting everybody together, with sharing so many great ideas, so much knowledge. Just overall, what are you looking forward to for the conference here?
Well, we broadcast for the conference from the Chicagoland area, which is where I live. So I was just saying earlier today, I'm excited because I get to go on a site visit on Monday. I get to some recon and make sure everything is going to be great for the live event. So
it feels so official. And we usually love to go to downtown Chicago because of, just all the art, the architecture. It's a beautiful city. We love being down there. However, the last few years, the Art Ed Now conference has overlapped with Lollapalooza, and downtown is very, very full. And so we're always kind of pushed out to the suburbs, which is still great. I still love Chicago, but I don't know that we get the full experience because of the tens of thousands of people that are downtown.
True. As long as Amanda is near Chipotle, all is good.
I was going to say, that's Amanda's favorite part of traveling is eating Chipotle every day. And, I'm not going to complain. I love it as well. So, okay. So I do want to talk about the conference in a little bit here. But before we do that, we're obviously recording live in the community here. I would love to have you just pitch us on why everybody listening to this needs to come join the community. I feel like we talk about it all the time, especially when Amanda and I are doing the mailbag, just so many calls to get people in the community. We love it. We love getting people to visit. But can you just kind of update us on what's going on and tell us a few exciting things that are happening in the community?
Absolutely. So even today, when you join the community, there are some screener questions that we ask you. And one of the questions, simply because we want to make sure you're a human and not a spam bot, is why are you excited to join the community? And I can't even tell you, even today, one of the responses was, I heard about the community on Art Ed Radio and it sounded like it would be fun. And I love that. I love seeing that, the number of shout outs that the podcast gets. It's great. It fills my heart. I mean, they all fill my heart, but especially here, I know it's working. I know it's happening. And we're giving off a good impression. So why don't I tell you about some of the cool things that are happening? So we this summer have been doing a whole bunch of live streaming just because we're, it's summer vacation, we're around. We have one more live stream for this summer that we're doing next week. I don't even, when is this air? It would probably already be done. I don't know. We're live streaming a bunch. But anyways, that doesn't mean we're done. Because in August is the return of the Lunch Bunch live stream, which is
my favorite.
Yes. Twice a month on Fridays at noon Central Time. But we understand there is no one time when everybody has lunch. So what we do is we record these little half-hour conversations, just hanging out kind of like this, half-hour conversation. Usually, what are you eating for lunch? What's the latest? What's happening in the art teacher world? And because they're recorded, you can always tune in later. We'll be like your stand-in. We'll be your substitute buddies, your substitute lunch buddies, your lunch bunch. And you can listen to us. You don't even have to be eating lunch. You could just have us on in the background during your plan period while you're getting stuff done. It's nice not to feel alone. So we're doing a lot more live streaming here in the community, which is just free. You tune in when you can. If you can't, cool. We really want to just be someone that's here for you and not something you have to do. We're not trying to put more stuff on a teacher's plate.
Exactly. But it is nice to hang out. Like I said, Lunch Bunch is my favorite. And I don't want to invite myself, but I kind of want to invite myself. So I will just say that if you need a guest for Lunch Bunch, please reach out.
Tim, you are always welcome at Lunch Bunch. I love hearing about your Owala water bottle girly tendencies. So
Yep, that is soaking upstairs. It needed to be washed. So
it does.
Bring it to the studio today.
If you're listening right now, friends, this is your reminder to wash your water bottle. So yeah.
What else is happening?
I'd like to mention one more like really big important thing, both for people that are in the community already, but people that are not in the community, great reason to join and come in is that this fall, like starting August 1st, so hey, like super soon, but even through like September, we have a whole bunch of like new initiatives and pushes we're doing for not just back to school, but arts advocacy. And we're planning some really cool events coming up. We're planning like some exclusive like goodies and downloads just for the community. In fact, August 1st, we are releasing what we're calling the new member starter pack in the Art of Ed community. So this is your preview, big preview here. And we're having exclusive, like not only can you get like your digital downloads here in the community anyways, but we even have this really fun, I just saw it the other day. It is a printable one-page like circular designs with all different like little art teacher and art teacher community like logos and graphics. And the idea is you can DIY whatever you want with it. You can make buttons, you can make magnets, you can make stickers, you can put it through your Cricut machine. So I'm really excited to see what people do with it. And I'm just going to tell you, like, I may have just found some things today to make like little round magnets. And I was thinking they'd be really fun to put into like prizes because we give away a ton of prizes in the community. So I'm going to DIY some things too and share them with people. But that's going to be really cool. Yeah.
That's really cool. Now, I want to just give a shout out here because we have the chat going in the community here as we live stream. And we were just talking about the community, and Megan said, it's nice connecting with my people.
Yep.
And Annette with the always fun running joke of it's the most fun you can legally have online.
It's our slogan.
Yeah, Catherine said that she's the only art teacher at her school and the community is her PLC. And we love all of that. We love
truly
all of the opportunities we have for people to get together, to converse, to share ideas. And, that's what the conference is about as well. Just a chance to get together, a chance to make some art and just kind of, be together, be part of that art teaching community. And so I wanted to talk to you about the art making. I'm looking really forward to doing that. That's going to be Friday night as part of the kickoff. You're going to be hosting the elementary room with Sarah Krajewski. I'm going to be hosting the secondary room with Chris Hodge. From your perspective, like, what do you think people should be looking forward to with that art making experience on Friday night?
Well, as someone who's presented at the Now conference before, like I was pretty well versed in like, the regular conference session, but like the kickoff, if you've never been, it's like you need to. Like Friday night it's the party before the party, but like emphasis on the fun part, like the party. So first hour, like fun and games, but then we split off and I'm going to be in the elementary room with Sarah Krajewski. Now, for those of you in the community, well, even a lot of people are familiar with Sarah Krajewski. She's around, she's visible, and she's fabulous. So she has been our guest at Art Club a couple of times already. So that's why I think like if you're in the community, you're probably used to like her presentation style because you've seen her. I love getting to work with her and like co-host and like let her do her thing. She's so much fun to watch. I always leave at the end of the hour feeling like really excited to make art and like share ideas. And our activity is intuitive line painting. It's based off of a flex lesson, but we're really just gonna like kind of have fun and let our artsy freak flags fly for an hour.
I love it. No, I love the way you describe that because I think doing the art making has a little bit of this feel in and of itself, but also just the energy that Sarah brings is so uplifting. Like that's the word I would use. And you get done with that and you just feel so much better. You feel so excited about creating, about being together, and I love that. So yeah, strong suggestion for people to come join us on Friday night. As I said, I'm going to be doing the art making with Chris Hodge. He is a wonderful illustrator, and we're going to do same thing, like inspired by a flex lesson, but we're putting our own twist on it. It's nature takeover, where it's going to be a good mix of like the human built environment with nature taking over. And I'm looking forward to seeing what Hodge does because the drawing lesson really aligns with his own illustration style, what he creates with his personal work. And so I think we're going to have some fun things kind of watching him work and watching him put together his artwork. And, I will also be creating, but not nearly as well as he will. We'll look forward to seeing what he puts together.
Yeah, Hodge is incredible. I'm sad that I can't be with him. I can't be in two places at once because they're all amazing.
As I was going to tell everybody later, we're going to record both of the sessions. So if you access the AfterPass with the conference, you can get back and see the recordings of both of them. Okay, so Jen, let's talk a little bit more about just the community aspect of things, like getting everybody together, whether that's art club, like you mentioned, or, the Maker Mondays, or just any of the get-togethers you're doing in the community. My question for you is, what are the benefits for everyone? What are the benefits of getting together with other art teachers, the benefits of setting aside some time just to create art?
Yeah, which applies to the kickoff as well. You're setting aside time to make some art together with other art teachers. And for me personally, I love seeing friends. And although I'm not currently in the classroom, I'm working full-time for the Art of Ed at home, it's not unlike the experience of working in your own classroom as a department of one. It's a similar vibe. Having done both, it gets lonely, and it's re-energizing just to be around other people that are like you. Because you're still an art teacher at heart. That doesn't leave us. We're still those people. So just this week, we had pop-up studio, and Janet Taylor and I, we were, discussing as we do during pop-up studio while we're making art. And she was commenting about how, when we see people in real life at a conference, that sometimes people get really excited. I love when people see you, Tim, and they're like, oh my God, it's the fun. As a fly on the wall, it is the best thing, you guys. Just got to tell you that. But I don't think people realize that it actually goes both ways. So we were talking about this pop-up, but I get so excited when I see people I recognize, from their names or their profile pictures in the community, or even just in the chat right now, I see, Catherine and Annette and Megan. I'm like, oh my God, I know them. I'm like, you get excited. You look forward to seeing them. And even in the chat during Art Ed Now, if someone wins a contest, we were like, oh, I know them from the community. It goes both ways. So honestly, getting together with other teachers and making that art, you make these friendships, even if you're not actively trying to, you see these people over and over and you get invested and you want to know about their lives and how are their dogs or their chickens doing or whatever. You're like, I was watching you paint that mural, it is the human connection. Even as an introvert, I can't say enough about it. It does good things for your soul.
That's true. It's a wonderful feeling. It's a wonderful experience, and it's amazing to have that connection. And it goes over the course of years now, and I love that. I think it's wonderful. Now, honestly, though, when it comes to the kickoff, I feel like we kind of buried the lead because the first hour we always do party, games, fun, art making. And this year we are doing the Great British Bake Off, or our own take on the Great British Bake Off. We're going to call it the Art Ed Make Off. And if you are familiar with the show, you will love it. If you're not familiar, I'm going to suggest that you watch an episode or two of the Great British Bake Off before before our show begins on Friday. But I will be there as Paul Hollywood. Amanda will be there as Prue, and Jen, of course, you're going to be Noel. And so I would just love to know how you're feeling about dressing up as Noel, because I feel like it is just the role that you were born to play. 100%.
In our podcast notes, I literally just wrote in all capitals, so freaking excited. That just sums it all up. So basically, if you don't know Noel Fielding and you're not British comedy adjacent, we love Noel in my house. We're big fans. We're watched The Mighty Boosh. We watched The IT Crowd. And now as color commentary on the Great British Bake Off, we just love everything Noel. And I was able to get a sweet shaggy wig. I have a whimsical novelty sweater, and of course I'm going to do some black guy liner. I'm so excited, Tim. So excited. Yeah,
it's going to be great. So I'm feeling a little bit left out because I can't do much for Paul Hollywood. Button down shirt, well trimmed beard, and that's about it. So
growing the beard, and it's a great.
If you're on the live stream, you can see got 3 days of beard going here. So we'll see how that goes. I've got another week for it to fill in, but like I really need to trim it, make it very precise, and that's about it. So we'll see how it goes. But
you're doing a great job. Props.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But I am looking forward to being kind of standoffish and talking down to people about their art making. No, we are going to be nice. We are going to be much more kind than Paul is on the show. So
yes,
and it will be good. But I am looking forward to it. Okay, but we should also talk about the conference itself. There are a lot of great presentations. You can see the schedule online. If you go to the Now landing page, you can see everything, theartofeducation.edu/now. You can see the whole schedule, everything that we're going to be doing. Jen, I don't want to put you on the spot right away, but I want you to think. Can you give us a couple presentations that you're excited about? I'm happy to go first while you think about yours.
Sure.
Two that I think are great for the month of August and just going back into the school year whenever you're going back. Number one is Erin Spinagle. She's going to be doing a presentation about setting boundaries this year and giving you sort of a playbook for this is how you set boundaries, this is how you protect your time and your energy, which I think is a really, really cool thing to do. And then Venice Keys is doing one about your creative well-being and how feel your best and do your best as an artist, as a creative while you're still teaching. And I think those messages are both things that we need to hear. We need to talk more about taking care of yourself and setting boundaries and protecting that energy, which is so precious for so many people, but so tough to come by when you are teaching. So I think between Erin and Venice, those are the messages that a lot of people need going into this school year. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what they say and seeing how people react to all of that. So, Jen, what are a couple presentations that you were looking forward to?
All right, looking at that list of presenters, I got to go right back to hey, I know that.
Say, are you just picking your friends from the community?
Just picking my friends, seriously. So Jessica Stuver, who has presented at the Now conference before, and her session was just chef's kiss, amazing. She's presenting again. So her session is called Creative Transformations, Making Learning Come Alive. And she is actually presenting during the elementary hour, which is that hour that we break off during the Now conference. So I'll be co-hosting with Amanda, and that's one of the sessions then. So a little shout out to my elementary room there. But also, I noticed in the AfterPass, there is a session by one of my previous coworkers that worked with me in my old school district. So Renee Kuharchuk, she teaches ceramics in Illinois, and she's doing a session called Art Room Hacks Classroom Management, and I'm super interested to check that out as well. So
it's really good. It's a fun one because, Janet Taylor, who is on the pod all the time, everybody knows her as part of the Art of Ed team. She and I were at NAEA together, and I was talking to Janet. I was like, I just went to go see this great presentation. Renee Kuharchuk was one of the presenters. I'd like to get her to do a presentation for Now. And Janet was like, I know Renee. Because again, Chicagoland area.
I know her.
He was either formerly or currently taught one of Janet's kids, and so it's just kind of a fun connection. I knew nothing about. So
yeah, it didn't even occur to me. Yes, she would have taught Janet's kids because I taught Janet's kids in elementary. So that's why we were in the same school district. Wow, small world.
I was going to say something. I love that.
Can I give a quick shout out though? I have some honorable mentions. Okay.
Perfect.
Honorable mentions, okay? Again, in the world of, hey, I know them, I saw that Kayla O'Neill is doing a session, How to Showcase Your Personal Work. She was my AOEU studio course instructor when I took the studio. So, hey, shout out, yes. And then, of course, I can't not mention Jackie Jablecki because everything she does is just I want to be BFFs in real life, and I wish she lived closer to me. If you haven't seen her on YouTube, in all the she did mini masterpieces this time, but also she was in the Dear Sketchbook session, or not session, series. There you go. Yeah, and everything, again, just kind of like Sarah Krajewski, I just love her. Everything is so good. So I can't not mention all those.
No, and okay, I love Kayla's presentation. It's all about, showcasing your personal work, which I love because we talk all the time about you need to make more work. But then she's taking it further with what do you do with that work that you make? And I think important addition to the conversation. And then, yeah, Jackie just works her magic. Like everything she does is spectacular. And, as I was putting together the lineup, I'm like, who is going to follow Oliver Jeffers, who's coming after our featured presenter? Is like, you know what? Jackie can do it. And so I'm really looking forward. Right in the middle of the day, we'll have Oliver Jeffers doing his featured presentation. So excited for that. And then Jackie will be right after him. For those of you unfamiliar, Oliver Jeffers is an artist and an author and an illustrator, probably best known as the illustrator of The Day the Crayons Quit, which is one of my favorite kids' books, art books. And I was just going to say, I went to interview him, and it was fantastic because I'm so used to, his illustration style, and I got to visit his studio, and all of his flat files were, he had labeled all of them, and I just felt like such a nerd. It's like, it's just like the books.
The handwriting, you're like, I know that.
It was so cool to just like see the handwriting and have that familiarity. I didn't say anything to him, but I was just kind of geeking out. Like,
I probably would have, because I am embarrassing. Like, I totally would have. Like, dork.
But no, he was a great interview. He was so kind, and just his presentation is going to be great. He has a great message about what it takes to be creative and the responsibility and the role of artists and creatives in today's world. And I think it's going to be a great message for people. And plus, I got to go hang out in Brooklyn and hang out in his studio for a while. So that was a wonderful experience.
Tim, I have a very, very important question about your trip to New York.
Okay, please go.
What was the best food that you had while you were there?
That's a good question, because
it always comes down to food. Come on.
I was going to say, New York has such great food. I went to an Ethiopian restaurant, and it was spectacular. So I don't know. Have you had Ethiopian food before?
I don't think I've had it specifically, but as I recall, is it where everything comes with like bread or like pizza, and you have to scoop everything?
They have injera is what it's called, and it's like this really pillowy bread, and like as a vegetarian, so many great options for you, so many incredible flavors. But yeah, there was no silverware; you just eat with your hands.
I love that.
Just so many flavors, so many different things. Like I loved it. So highly recommend if you ever get the chance. Quick honorable mention. I can't do dairy, and the prevalence of dairy-free ice cream around New York City is incredible. Like, you can find it everywhere, and it made me very happy to be able to eat ice cream like 4 times in 3 days.
And so you did.
Basically. That was a good part of the experience.
Nice.
One last question for you, Jen, because I know we need to wrap up fairly soon. After the conference is over, we have the After Pass, of course, where people can go revisit all of that, watch the live art making that you missed, find things that are perfect for you, for your classroom. But we're also doing things in the community as well. So can you just sort of give people a heads up on what's happening in the community, how we can keep the conversation going there?
Yeah. We actually, in the community, we do have a space just called Conference Discussions, and it's a great place that you can post questions, about all conferences, not just the Now Conference, but including the Now Conference. But we are trying something new. Starting with this summer Now Conference, we are going to open up a separate space with a chat feed in it, and it's going to be called the AfterPass Chat. And the purpose is to give people a place to continue the conversation, like very similar to the vibe of the live conference chat in Zoom when we're like on there, because it's so fun, it's so energetic, and we're like, how do we capture that and maintain that? So we're going to open up this chat space in the community, and we're going to have it open for 2 weeks following the conference. And the idea is that as you watch things in the AfterPass, or you just share your insights or ask questions, or when you log off of the Now Conference, and there's almost like this like, okay, it's over, what's next, and that
Yes.
not disappointment, but like it's not a little bit of disappointment. So we're like, how do we keep that going? So come over to the community and we have the after pass chat, and then that will be where you can continue the conversation. You can connect with people that you saw in the chat and at the conference. So we're just really hoping that this will help kind of like bridge that experience and be a place that people can keep the good vibes flowing.
Yeah, absolutely. Because the chat is so helpful for so many people. And so, we're obviously not going to be able to recreate that feel, but if we can get a small part of that, then it'll be great for people. So,
100%.
All right, Jen, we're going to wrap it up there. I just have a couple last things for people. As always, we hope to see you all in the community, both before the conference and after the conference. If you still have not registered for the conference, which our teacher is very good at procrastinating, so if you still need to register, you have until Friday at noon. Okay, so until Friday at noon to register. You can go to www.theartofeducation.edu/now, find out everything you need to know for the conference, get that last minute registration in, then you can come join us on Friday and Saturday and Sunday. And then lastly, after the conference, everybody keep an eye out for AOE's Back to School campaign. They have a very cool Back to School bundle coming with resources, free lessons, classroom posters, advocacy tools, and maybe my favorite, the full year customizable digital planner. So many cool things. So we want to make sure that everybody has what they need to have a successful school year, and hopefully the Back to School campaign will be a part of that. So keep an eye out for that in the coming weeks. So I think that'll do it for us. Jen, thank you so much for joining us, and can't wait to do this with you on Friday.
Ooh, yep. This was fun. Thank you.
We are so glad you joined us for today's episode, and we hope it was helpful for you. If you know someone else who might be helped with the information in this show, we would love for you to share it with them. We also appreciate all the ratings and reviews that listeners leave for us, so if you have a few seconds to give us a 5-star rating or even leave a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen, we would love to see it. Thank you again for listening, and we will see you next week.